So thank you for being part of this online time to both celebrate and remember what Jesus has done for us and the new life that we can have as a result. And as a reminder, you want to go ahead now and grab whatever you're going to be using as elements for this experience. Bread or something similar to represent Jesus' body, and juice or something similar to represent Jesus' blood. We'll be eating those together here in just a few moments. And I want you to be ready to participate. Now, as you know, we've been in this series called I Can Relate. And not only have we been talking about the kinds of things all of us have been going through in this unusual season, but we've been talking about the fact that even God knows what it's like to endure many of the challenges and struggles that we deal with through our lives. In fact, that's one of the things that makes Christianity so unique from all other world religions, is only in our belief system did God come down, not remain some aloof or distant figure calling us to work our way up to him, but who actually came down and experienced what we experience. The theological term for this is the incarnation, and we talk a lot about it at Christmas time, but it of course is true and powerful all year long. And it's more than just Jesus coming and being a person like we are. It's him facing the same issues that we face. Struggles, pain, disappointment, frustration, betrayal, even temptation. In fact, one of the key verses I know we've referenced several times in this series comes from Hebrews 4:15, where it says, "We do not have a high priest," speaking of Jesus, "who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses. But we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin." What an incredible thing it is to know God gets it. And not only does he get it, but he wants to get us through it. And that's what we remember at this communion time. Because Jesus does know what it's like. He knows what it's like to endure and face challenge and struggle. But even more than that, Jesus knows firsthand what it's like to experience suffering in life. In fact, in the Old Testament book of Isaiah, the prophet, predicting who the Messiah would be, what he would do, speaks to this very issue in a well-known passage in Isaiah 53, starting in the second half of verse 2. The prophet says, "He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him in low esteem." See, Jesus knows what it's like. Many times people ask questions, how could a loving God allow pain in our world? And that's an important question. But what's even more profound is, why would a loving God come and experience the pain of this world? Well, the prophet goes on to explain part of why it was he was willing to endure what he endured in the following verses. Isaiah 53, now in verse 5. It says, speaking of Jesus, "He was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all." See, that's the truth that we remember in these moments of communion. Not only that Jesus knows what it's like to endure pain, but that he was willing to endure pain out of love for you and I. That's what these symbols remind us of. The bread representing his body, broken for us. The juice representing his blood, spilled out of love for you and for me. And so as we eat these symbols, let's be reminded, not only does Jesus get it, friends, he can get us through it. And so let's now take whatever you're using for bread, and let's eat that together to remember Jesus' body. And then take the juice or whatever you're using to represent Jesus' blood. Let's drink it together and remember the sacrifice that he made for us. By his wounds, we are healed. Would you pray with me? Oh God, what a beautiful thing it is that you have done in our lives. that you are willing to come, you are willing to endure, you are willing to suffer, and that you are willing to do it all out of love for us. And so as we eat these symbols, we admit again our sin in our lives. And we thank you for taking those transgressions on your shoulders, and that by your wounds we can be healed. Father, I thank you for that amazing gift. And I pray for each person remembering it with me right now, that you will sustain them with that assurance that you do get it, Lord, and you promise to get us through it. In the name of the one who came as a high priest, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you for being part of this important time, and we'll look forward to seeing you again very soon.